Dejo.
Dijo. Doja?
Dejo.
There's an
Is there a
anime on
manga
the floor.
There's an anime on the floor?
Is this a dojo? It's full of strange things that make me think there's no way we're inside a school. What, you've never seen trees inside a school? Come on now. Perhaps it's a mistake to expect the inside of this building to make sense.
Have you seen trees in a school?
Maybe.
You've seen trees?
Maybe
You don't know my life.
I thought that was Shugo Kara. Huh? What's this?
Oh my god, it does look like that.
Is this a manga? The title is Manga for Morons, A History of Hope Speak Academy by Monokuma. Why is a manga with such a suspicious looking title laying out in the open like this?
Let's start with history first, class.
Hey,
Reading manga is the third best way to learn about history. Then what's the first, you ask? That depends on the person.
So just as I thought,
Good talk.
Monokuma made this. That totally explains how suspicious it looks. It said by Monokuma, didn't it? I really want to just ignore
Yeah.
it, but there's no way I can do that. Fine, I'll look at it. I'll look at anything that might be a clue to getting out of here, no matter what it is. I thought she wasn't wearing pants. I picked up a manga off the floor and started flipping through its pages. It's an introduction to Hope Speak Academy's history, as narrated by the cutesy character on the cover. The story begins with an introduction to Hope Speak Academy. Hope Speak Academy is a government-funded school of privilege where only the most talented high school students can hope to attend. Oh, should it be in the cutesy voice?
built to raise hope in the nation's future. Many of its alumni are key leaders of various industries. New students are chosen through a scouting process, but the ones who scout them are Hope Speak Academy's teachers who serve as both educators and researchers of that talent.
What?
Hope Speak Academy isn't just a school for talent. It's also a school for researching talent as well. However, for the past few years, Hope Speak Academy has been suffering from a decline in funding. If this persists, the Academy believes they will not be able to make progress with their research of talent. So they decide to implement a new system. The Reserve Department. Unlike the main department who scouts for students, the Reserve Department utilizes a general entrance exam. Normal faculty was hired and placed in charge of looking after the Reserve Department. The expenses and exam fees for the Reserve Department are quite high compared to most high schools. Nevertheless, Hope Speak Academy received an endless stream of applicants. Hope Speak Academy is now available for the talentless commoners, people who only care about the brand. With this, Hope Speak Academy managed to amass sizable funds and began further research of talent. To create Hope Speak Academy's earnest wish, a true genius who would become mankind's hope. But just when they thought everything was going well, an unprecedented incident occurred. The incident that triggered the tragedy, the biggest, most awful, most tragic event in human history. That's right, it was the tragedy of Hope Speak Academy.
This voice is tiring.
Hope Speak Academy was crippled by this incident and was forced to shut down without accomplishing anything. The end.
Whew. I didn't realize how strenuous that would be on my voice. Huh? The ending was so sudden, like a manga that suddenly canceled in the middle of its run. Plus, these phrases mentioned at the end of this manga, the tragedy and the tragedy of Hope Speak Academy. These names are so melodramatic. There's no way these incidents really happened, right? This manga only mentions the names, so I don't really know the details, but no. It'd be just a waste of time to wonder about things that don't make sense. More importantly, I learned something because of this manga. The Reserve Department. That department was only built to collect money. I was one of those Reserve Corps students, right?
But hold on.
That's weird.
Yo, you're here again.
The thing that's weird is you, of course.
Huh?
Hey!
Why did you forget that you were part of the Reserve Department?
I don't know.
The Future Foundation only took away your school life memories, right? But you should have known even before you entered that you had no talent, right? So I think it's weird that you actually forgot something like that too.
What do you want me to say?
By the way...
Based on my assumption, the Future Foundation must have wanted to hide the fact that you were one of those Reserve Corps students.
I got it!
Or you willingly sealed those memories away yourself.
Huh?
You wanted to be confident in yourself, so you wanted to forget everything that embarrassed you. You know, when humans experience trauma, sometimes they erase their memories of what happened. It happens pretty often. Not that I'd know anything about that, though.
Are you saying it's my fault I forgot? That's not it.
Come on!
When things get inconvenient, you always get angry and try to brush it off. Well, that's expected of a reserve course student.
Damn it. What the heck? Oh, it's a bullet.
Bang, bang, bang. And then
What
you
is
shoot
that?
it at the target.
The target seems pretty far away. If the
Just throw the
production team had
manga
more
at the
time.
target.
There could have been a minigame here. Wait, what am I saying? Stupid.
They're gonna. Does that mean they were planning on putting a mini game and they decided no?
They didn't have time for it, I
They
guess.
gave up.
There are a bunch of wooden lockers here. Each of them has a traditional looking woodlock key sticking out of them. I guess they're just for show. There's nothing in particular that looks like a clue. Thanks. There's a straw post. I guess that means it was used for training. Okay. Cherry blossom. Cherry tree is proudly displaying its full blossom. Its falling petals add to the elegance of the scene. If Hyoko and Peko were here, it would have looked truly picturesque. For their sakes as well, I will definitely go home. You hear that, Peko and Hyoko? I'm gonna go home for you guys.
Thanks.
Its armor and helmet. Did the map developers design this to reflect the Japanese dojo? What? What the?
Talk about the game
Map
designers.
developers.
I guess so. I assumed that was it. Didn't seem like there's anything else there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that was the dojo.
Dojo.
Can't go in the garden.
Aw, we can't go see the giant monster plant thing. The human eating.
No,
Audrey
they didn't
too.
want
Monster
to put
plant?
it in this game.
I guess not.
I was just like,
Just
nope.
I'm sure he has nothing to fucking say.
You'd be like, where's Sonia?
This hallway, it's kinda creepy.
Oh god, his mouth is just flickering.
I can't go to places that I should be able to go. It's like some rule is being enforced for no reason. It's like there's an invisible wall or something.
Okay, see? Good talk. Oh, what's happening here?
Oh, I don't think we can go in there.
Then why didn't they block off this hallway?
I don't know. They they want you to walk.
Spookiness.
It really doesn't poop, huh? Okay, so...
Monomu doesn't.
A classroom.
5A. A violin. Oh look,
A
there's
violin?
another anime.
Book.
What's this, City Hunter? This is another manga. It's lying on top of the desk. This one is Manga for Morons, The Tragedy of Hope's Peak Academy, huh? Wasn't the tragedy of Hope's Peak Academy mentioned in the other manga too? It's why Hope's Peak Academy went bankrupt then. It was the trigger for the biggest, most tragic, most awful event in human history. Just read the fucking thing. God, that chair is so slim. If I read this manga, will I be able to learn a little more about that incident?
Are we finally gonna
What
learn
a
about the
face.
tragedy?
Who is that
The
supposed
biggest,
to be?
most awful, most tragic, most.
It's a cool skull.
I took the manga from the desk and started flipping through the pages. Is that supposed to be the headmaster? To see what I could learn about the events known as the tragedy of Hope's Peak Academy. The story made heavy use of outdated stylized drawings depicting characters solving mysteries. What's written here is, as the name suggests, the tragedy of Hope's Peak Academy occurred at Hope's Peak Academy.
Really?
No shit.
Oh no, it's a tragedy for you. And then he shoots you.
The key player in that event was a student named Izuru Kamakura. Isn't that the name of the founder?
Yeah, there was a portrait that had like a picture of an old guy with
Yeah.
that name. Yeah.
Yeah. But he was a student at the school too?
Hey,
He
you
founded
never
the school
stop
he went
learning.
to?
You never stop learning. Just keeps going back.
Izuru was a genius known as a symbol of hope. Hope's Peak Academy used all their resources to develop him. Develop him? What is he, a robot?
Like his mind.
Supposedly, Izuru was a genius among geniuses and possessed various talents. Wielding superior talent for the hope of mankind, the Academy referred to Izuru as the ultimate hope. No, that was Makoto. You're lying. To protect such rare talent, the Academy completely concealed all evidence of Izuru's origin and identity. Because of that, most of the students at the Academy were completely unaware of Izuru's existence. So is that man on the cover Izuru? Why is he pointing a gun? But Izuru, who was known as a symbol of hope, was responsible for a horrible incident. 13 students at Hope's Peak Academy's student council, among the Academy's best and brightest, were brutally murdered by Izuru. Oh my god. He founded the school just to kill them. However, the incident did not end there. The Academy tried to protect Izuru's superior talent and concealed the incident as though it never happened. However, a certain student began working in secret to use that incident to their advantage. That student uncovered what the Academy did, and by making that knowledge public, it stoked the fires of reserve course students who had long been dissatisfied with how they were being treated, and then the uprising began. And that heralded Hope's Peak Academy's destruction. This is the entirety of the tragedy of Hope's Peak Academy. Eventually, that incident would lead to that horrifying, devastating incident that would be known as the biggest, most awful, most tragic event in human history. We're excited. Danganronpa 0.
That's an actual thing that you can read.
Cool. In here?
I don't think you can read it in here. You have to like look up a translation of it online.
Oh, is it like from a different game, or is it like a game itself?
It's just like a book.
Japan only.
Oh.
It's not well written.
Oh,
I have
okay.
not been able to read it.
Okay. With a heavy sigh, I closed the manga. Am I supposed to believe this? There's no way 13 people were killed at Hope's Peak Academy.
What irony.
Oh, it's a light novel. Gotcha.
For a genius known as the ultimate hope to cause such a gruesome incident. A talent like that is too regal for society. It's like trying to buy juice with a bar of gold.
Why would you buy one juice when you could buy like 1,000? With the I don't know how much a bar.
How much is a juice box? A
How
bar
much
of
is-
gold?
Sounds about right.
You should be lucky that you're incompetent.
Damn it, he always has to lead up to something offensive. He seriously pisses me off. But ultimate hope. Nagito mentioned that before too, but it looks like it means something completely different here. What Nagito said was the true meaning of hope. But for Izuru, hope simply meant talent. More importantly, a genius who possesses various talents. I wish they'd given me one of those talents so I didn't have to be in the reserve department. Fucking god. That's right, the reserve department. Here, it says that the reserve corps students in the reserve department began uprising. Then what about me? Was I a participant too? Wasn't this like years ago? Were you alive for that?
What was years ago?
I thought the uprising happened like before his time. I thought the uprising happened before Hajime, like, was that not an incident that happened? Oh.
I don't know.
Oh. No, that's not possible. There's no way. I have no reason to do something like that. My impression was that the tragedy happened like years before Hajime came to the school. Anyway, I learned about the tragedy, but the biggest, most awful, most tragic event in human history is a far worse incident, right? What kind of incident was it? And who's this other student that isn't Izuru? A certain student who secretly used the incident to their advantage. Who was it? This incident is really messed up. Well, all it's doing is raising more questions. The mysteries just keep piling up. Oops.
That should be it, unless there's a... No.
Bye. Boop, 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 boop. Now where is there to go? Is there still more places to walk?
Yeah, there should be. I think it like opens up a different place every time you go in and out.
Now is that hallway open?
Could be.
Peekaboo.
Could be not.
Peekaboo. Peekaboo. Oh, it is.
Yeah.
Ah,
Raw.
Raw.
Oh,
Monday Night
it's the
Raw.
morgue. It's where all the dead bodies were put in. What the hell is this room? It's freaking cold in here. It's like I'm in a freezer or something. If I just stand still, I might end up freezing to death. I should hurry up and investigate so I can get out of here already. Just grab one of those tarps. They'll save you.
Oh, you're gonna get spooked at the mango.
Yeah, I saw the cover for a second. This was a
Mango.
plastic tarp. Why is this left out like this? Clean up after yourselves, will you? You fucking assholes. Oh, why does it look so scary? Ew.
It's just a scream.
Yeah, it's not that bad.
Oh, that's her mouth.
No, it's a mango.
It's just a mango in her mouth. There's another manga just lying around here. This time the title is Manga for Morons, the biggest, most awful, most tragic event in human history?
Question mark,
Sounds
exclamation point.
clickbaity.
I knew it. The next one would obviously be about this incident. The biggest, most awful, most tragic event in human history, huh? Just what was this incident really about? It might turn out to be something lame. I flipped through the pages of a manga and really hoped that I was right.
It was just one time when Monokuma fell down and he cried.
What is that line across her face?
Hair.
Is it?
Yeah, it's a strand of hair.
No, it's the circle that you draw when you're drawing a head. You draw the circle and then you draw the... That's what it looks like.
That's a weird
It looks
circle.
like they forgot to erase the circle.
I thought she was being like strangled, but from her lip instead of like her neck.
Because it's like they drew the circle and then changed
It's like
the orientation they want it to be. So then they're like, whatever.
It's a very simple mustache.
A story about a creepily drawn characters who got involved in such horrifying incidents. Wow, I can't read. An incident known as the biggest, most awful, most tragic event in human history. Is this drawn so grotesquely because the incident itself is that grotesque? Anyway, the beginning of this creepy manga started with the sentence. The tragedy of Hope's Peak Academy was simply the trigger. At first, the uprising by the reserve corps students that triggered the tragedy of Hope's Peak Academy was initially hoped to be resolved quickly, but the situation continued to escalate to dangerous extremes. The movement started spreading all over the internet and fostered a thriving online community. The community was not limited to students, and people of various races and nations began joining in. 4chan. But the movement was not confined to the internet, and began spreading and eroding the real world. When the movement started, it was indistinguishable from any other demonstration inspired by social unrest. But as it spread across the world, certain abnormalities soon came to light. By then it was too late. The ends and the means had vanished, and wanton, how do you pronounce that word? Wanton.
Wonton
Where?
soup.
Wanton.
Wanton. I usually pronounce it wanton.
Wanton destruction became their only goal. That's all I ever think about whenever I see that word. I just think of wontons. The strong butchered the weak. The weak killed the weakest among them. And soon, the weak formed factions to brutally murder the strong. As the violence and death continued to spread, the shock of their faces began to disappear. As if the era was regressing to more uncivilized times when senseless deaths were the norm. The media was oversaturated with deaths to the point where people would watch them while enjoying a meal. Oh boy. By the time the world realized what it had become, it was too late to stop what had happened. A feeling of immense despair began spreading and eventually engulfed the world. Acts of terrorism and coup d'etat, whatever, began occurring around the world. A war waged in the name of despair. A war fought not for principles, religions, or personal gain. Just war. Pure war. And because of that, there was no way to resolve it. How could a movement started by high school students progress to such hopeless scenario? The only explanation is the existence of a certain organization devoted to a certain student who influenced Hope's Peak Academy, a group called Ultimate Despair. Instead of using Hope's Peak Academy's talent for the sake of mankind's hope, they used them for the sake of mankind's despair. Key members of society use their influence to brainwash the masses in order to spread despair. Tech-savvy computer programmers wrote software to spread despair. The powerful and influential whatever created new values and morals to spread despair. Oh boy. And with this, they created the tragedy, the biggest, most awful, most tragic event in human history. As long as ultimate despair exists, the despair engulfing the world will never end. The tragedy will never end. Oh boy. My heart was racing in my chest, but my body felt ice cold. And it wasn't because I was freezing in this room. The biggest, most awful, most tragic event in human history. This is definitely all made up. I mean, if this is really true, then what's happening in the outside world? My family, my friends, the convenience store I frequent, the nearby bookstore, my favorite restaurant. I just like that my family and friends, and then followed up with the convenience store that I go to. What's happened to them?
No way!
Hey, are you seriously yelling at a manga? How crazy are you?
Who would enjoy reading something like this?
What?
Oh my, you don't like manga? A high school student who doesn't like manga is like an office lady who doesn't like to eat candy.
Enough! What is this messed up manga?
I thought you'd obviously know about such a horrible event that destroyed the world, but for you not to remember that, such despair. That's the Future Foundation's fault, though, thanks to them stealing your school memories. The incident that happened during that period has been completely removed from your brains.
This incident really happened? And I actually forgot about it? There's no way that's possible!
What are you saying?
How many times do I have to tell you? All the clues here are real.
Hello.
Please understand, I'm rooting for you. If you don't learn about the full extent of the outside world, you guys will suffer for it. I just want to help you guys so you can live well-adjusted lives in the outside world.
I see. So that's how it is. That's what he meant by what he said in the beginning.
Well, as the headmaster, I'm conflicted, you know. On one hand, I'm really happy that you're finally going to graduate. But on the other hand, I'm worried about whether you guys will be okay in the outside world. That's why I'm thinking about telling you what the outside world is like before you make a decision. Whether you want to leave Jabberwock Island or stay here.
He's trying to make us feel despair towards the outside world so he will want to stay on this island. But there's no way I'm going to do what he wants. Despair like that simply can't exist. The outside world should be filled with hope. Just like now. Perhaps. No, that's definitely it. Whether or not this incident really happened, what in the world is this ultimate despair group? If they're devoted to a certain student who guides Hope's Peak Academy to its destruction, are they connected to both the tragedy and the tragedy of Hope's Peak Academy? Plus, that organization isn't just one person, but a group of people. But if they're known as Ultimate Despair, they're high school students, right? Well, if they were actually able to do it, then I guess that's why they're called the Ultimates. Then, are the killings were involved and connected to them as well? It's no use. I'm gonna freeze to death. I'm at my limit. I need to get out of here. Shivering, I ran out of the freezing room.
If you ever hear a cat purring, it's me. It's my cat.
It's you.
None of us have cats except for Michelle.
Midnight has a cat, doesn't he?
Oh, right. You do.
At $300, we'll play an 8-minute video I recorded of her licking herself.
No.
But it's adorable!
8 minutes of her licking herself? That's perverse.
8 minutes and 1 second.
That's perverse.
It's so adorable.
Phew, that was close. I nearly froze to death. So where should I go next? I don't fucking know.
Probably where the next door is open, I would imagine.
I sweat. Did we...
I sweat.
I
sweat.
Oh, is that not open? Oh, I thought that was open.
No.
The
It's either
garden?
the other classroom or the garden.
Lined up my baby. Just gonna stare at pictures of my cat.
Nope.
For the rest of the stream.
It's probably the other classroom.
I don't know where anything is, so I'm just gonna
Next to the other classroom.
Oh.
Yep.
This one?
Yeah.
Okay.
Despair. That's not a violin.
That's that bear. I should
No,
ignore it.
I should ignore it. I'm just gonna pretend I didn't see him. Okay. Is that meant to be Monokuma or is that a doll? I guess that is Monokuma.
I think that is.
Ignore it.
I'm ignoring him,
'Cause-
I'm ignoring.
Hajime saw it.
What if that's the trick though? It is the doll. They don't want you to click on it.
Baby.
Hunter.
Huh? I said that line, hold on.
You
When I went
said...
inside this room, that bastard there was something. Keeps glancing.
I wonder why.
It's gonna be shitty either way.
Damn right.
I'll let you handle it. There's no way I'm gonna deal with that.
Why do you trail off at the end of your sentences? I don't want to do that either.
What do you mean?
If for some reason, I don't know if it was just me, but like towards the end of the sentence,
No,
you kind of just
it,
trail
it
off.
does.
It's probably just how this
Voice changer works.
Oh.
Oh my god.
Wow.
Really quick puberty.
Why, hello, Hajime. I hope you're doing pleasantly well. Are you pleasantly well? You're pleasantly well, right?
What are you doing here?
No, no.
Well, there was another thing I needed to tell you on this floor. I got bored of drawing manga. Can you forgive me for telling you by word of mouth?
I will, because I didn't want to say it all again. You should have done that from the beginning. I didn't want to read your manga in the first place.
A high school student who doesn't like manga is like a sumo wrestler who doesn't like eating hot pots.
And all sumo wrestlers eat hot pot.
Of course.
I miss hot pot. I'm getting really fed up with your babbling. Hurry up. What do you need to tell me?
I just imagine Hajime saying that before he started talking.
I'm sure he would say that too. He probably feels the
I
same
miss
way.
hot pots. It's about that key piece of information you've been wanting so long for.
What?
Surprise! It's about ultimate despair.
Huh?
Even though the term ultimate despair refers to a group these days,
Actually,
it was originally the title for a high school girl who was the most powerful, evil, and feared person alive.
High school girl.
yes indeed.
Lady Junko Inoshima.
Enoshima. Junko Enoshima.
Hey,
As the former ultimate despair, she created a despair brimming with charm and humor. And created the ultimate despairs. There was one really horrible person in that group.
don't fuck with me.
Hold on a sec. I don't know what the ultimate despairs are, but it's not that easy to form an organization. There's no way people would join some fucked up organization created by a high school girl.
People probably would join it if they saw it was a high school girl who formed it.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
Humans who are obsessed with their philosophy have an uncanny power to attract others. It's a trait shared by many famous leaders throughout history, right? There's nothing strange about it.
Hey,
That holds true for Lady Junko. With her charismatic ability to attract people, she even influenced those in the highest echelons of power. Her connections were the main reason that incident became the tragedy in the first place.
So, she even recruited people who would have been in a position to neutralize the threat?
Then what was their purpose?
Huh?
you.
Like I said, why did they cause that incident? It doesn't even make sense. They had a purpose, right? There's no way they'd do that. They do what they did without any purpose.
Hey,
It was Junko Inushama's despair.
And Oshama now.
Inushama.
It's a different
Night
name every time.
For people who are coming in to enter the giveaway for the game, unfortunately it's been raffled off, but stick around for any. We'll be doing another game giveaway later on, but the one for
Who
Fall
also donate?
Guys is currently won by someone else. So tune back in later for another game giveaway. Thanks for stopping by. Okay. Huh?
For Junko Inushimi, despair isn't about purpose, a set of principles, a way of life, or an instinct. Despair is what defines Junko Unoshima as Junko Anushima.
Just purposely misspelling. I'm missaying their name. Jeez. What are you saying?
I'm a stuffed plushie. Hajime is a human. It's exactly like that. Junko Anu is full of so much despair that she truly hopeless.
Doesn't even finish it.
Living, dying, eating, loving. For her, everything is despair.
What the hell?
With her overwhelming force of personality, Junko recruited the ultimate despairs one by one. She controlled their despair by taking advantage of their love, hate, grudges, anything really. Junko's despair is far more dreadful than any other. That idea has been slammed right into their minds. And so the ultimate despairs who had been recruited became nothing more than Junko's limbs. All despair, whether it was their own or anyone else's, was dedicated to Junko Inoshima. Like believers making offerings to their god. Like a mother providing food to her children. They dedicated all despair so they could escape from despair, all in Junko Inushima's name. For example, they killed their families and friends, even destroyed their bodies through relentless mutilation.
I stopped paying attention like halfway through and now I'm lost.
Listen, I'm saying all of this. And you just don't even listen?
That's the heat is like making me not concentrate. But yeah,
I turned on the air condition. I didn't make this school horrible.
Oh god.
And to helplessly top it off, they completely believed it was something that they had to do.
There's no way something that crazy is possible.
what?
Do you know about the final days of the reserve course students during the tragedy of Hope's Peak Academy?
Final days.
In other words,
Junko has the power to change people's values. This is also true of famous people throughout history.
Hey, what do you mean final days? What happened to the reserve department?
Of course.
They fulfilled their role as disposable limbs. They believed in what they needed to do.
But I'm alive. Oh my god.
And so, the 2,357 students of the reserve department all committed mass suicide.
That's not the tragedy of Hope Peak Academy?
No.
The 16 students who were murdered is a tragedy, but not 2,300 people. What? What the fuck? Y'all
Well, the
need to...
16 students were more important. They were
Oh,
special. These are
oh my
just
God.
some idiot kids.
Jesus! Alright. No wonder the school fucking failed. Mass suicide!
What'd you say?
All 2,357 students?
Then why are we here? Oh, well, there it is. Never mind.
Oops. It wasn't all of them. One person was excluded.
C'est moi? One person was excluded. Huh? Is that me?
Nah, Hajime, you're dead.
I don't believe it. There's no way I can believe this. Ultimate Despair, Junko Inoshima. It doesn't scare me at all. I mean,
Bastard!
Junko Inoshima's already dead.
Why do you know that? Huh? Oh,
Cause she's dead.
look, it's her. She's being
Is
added into our
Boss Baby
handbook.
Junko?
It's the queen.
It's Boss Baby Junko? Jesus. Oh man. Wonder
Also,
what
I
that-
could have my details mixed up, but I'm pretty sure that they were saying that all those students committing suicide was part of the tragedy. Like, there's the tragedy of
Hope Peak
that
Academy
took place in
and
Hope's
then-
Peak
yeah.
Academy, and then there's
The
the tragedy itself.
Oh,
I think
maybe.
they're both considered tragedy. It's very confusing.
It's all very tragic.
Speaking of tragedy, you know what's tragic? That
This
that
wallpaper.
people that people are suffering out there without the proper medical care that they need. You know how we can fix that? By donating to Doctors Without Borders. Hey y'all, we're hosting this charity stream.
You didn't give it a pause again.
I sure did. I gave it a pause.
No.
Yeah, I did.
Michelle was
cut it
still
out
talking.
Just cut it out with, you know what else is tragic? This wallpaper. And then just cut
This
it.
cutaway.
Okay. Perfect.
Oh, okay. We're hosting a 24-hour charity stream at this very moment where we're raising monies to donate to Doctors Without Borders, who is an organization that works, I guess, worldwide, around the world, that provides life-saving medical care to people in need. If you have the means to, consider donating $1 or $2 or 10 or 20 or 50, however much you like, and help us out, or help them out. Actually, not us really.
This is all for Doctors Without Borders.
Yep. And stick around for party games later on. If you don't like Dangan, then come back later.
Don't like Dangan? Fuck off.
Then why are you here?
Come back.
Donate.
Come back in like 2 hours if you don't like Dangan. But yeah, thanks for watching. And if you donate, thanks for donating. And if you don't donate, well then, thanks for staying alive. Pause.
And action.
Great.
What? Junko's Boss Baby? What?
Jingle can't be
What's
Boss
a
Baby.
wallpaper?
Boss Baby's
huh?
too short for that.
Zebra.
This wallpaper is
Just
pretty
met ya.
gross. Okay.
I think that was it in this room.
Is
What?
Monokuma a zebra?
Is Monokuma a zebra?
Oh, maybe you have to talk to him.
Junko Inoshima's already dead. What does that mean? Why does Fuyuhiko know about that? Oh yeah, that makes
Okay,
sense.
yeah.
I should ask him about that.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, Fuyuhiko, is it true what you said? Junko Inoshima is really dead?
What? You didn't see?
See what?
There's
Oh,
a book called Manga for Morons, Killing School Life. In that bloody classroom.
we didn't get to go in that room. A bloody classroom? No, wait, what was that you said about the killing school life?
What's them?
Like the killings we were involved in, they were killings that happened at Hope Peak Academy. As I recall, the mastermind took her own life because the remaining students worked together to defeat her.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's what it was. Yep. The killing school life ended up failing in the end. As a result, the 6 students who survived managed to escape from the academy.
Hey,
For a manga about the killing school life, it was drawn with a lot of silly images and dumb gags. According to that, the mastermind behind the failed killing school life was Junko Inoshima.
The mastermind took her own life, which means Junko Enoshima is dead.
Turns out that killing school life was part of that whole biggest, most awful whatever incident. Junko took away the memories of former students of Hope's Peak Academy and forced them to kill each other.
Former students of Hope's Peak Academy, and she took away their memories? That's just like us. Are we former?
Apparently, the whole thing was being filmed by surveillance cameras and broadcast worldwide. There's a limit to being a cruel asshole.
The surveillance cameras were broadcasting the whole thing?
so
The students of Hope's Peak Academy are widely known as symbols of hope. By forcing people to watch these symbols of hope kill each other for the sake of survival. They were trying to fill everyone who watched the broadcast with despair all at once.
That's messed up!
But that messed up plan was stopped. Junko Inoshima failed. Junko lost the students she placed in her trap, and after being overcome by the despair she created, she took her own life.
Then, Junko is no more.
No matter how horrible she was, there's no reason to fear someone who's dead.
They keep saying that she's dead, but is she really dead? I don't...
She's dead as fuck.
Oh, she did.
Whether Monokuma's story's true or not doesn't matter.
bastard!
Junko Inoshima isn't alive anymore.
Then, who is our enemy?
You.
If Junko Enoshima's already dead, are the rest of the Ultimate Despairs behind us? Are the followers of Junko carrying out her will? That's the only thing I can think of. I mean, the killings were involved and resembled the killing school life.
Well, I don't know who the hell is imitating Junko and making us go through this, but... An imitation is just that. An imitation.
No shit.
If the students from Hope's Peak Academy stop the real deal, there's no way we'll lose to some fake.
But if this is really an imitation, are those surveillance cameras the same too? The cameras all over Jabberwock Island. Are they broadcasting to somewhere just like the surveillance cameras during the killing school life?
The Walkadom.
Sunshine?
Man, Hajime, you totally know about that story, huh?
What? Do you have a problem with that?
Well, I really wanted you to read the manga version since I took the time to draw it.
What are you gonna do?
Oh well, I'll just raise the flag.
Why would you not know that we knew it? You gave the binder to Nagito at the time with that information, and we all read it together.
I think he's talking about what Fuyuhiko just said about Junko being alive and stuff.
Fuyuhiko
Oh.
said everything in the manga.
Oh. Okay. Flag. What do you mean, raise the flag? What's gonna happen if you do that? Raise the flag.
One step at a time. You're getting closer to clearing my character out.
You're not making sense again.
Well now.
It's a dating game thing. Now then, I'll give you guys my all. I'll tell you everything I know, including information on the outside and the inside. And I'll raise them flags like crazy.
Alright, now that should be it.
Okay. Now what comes next?